and see how many disasters we can find. Very nearly got myself completely stuck just now. To be honest, once they get blocked, they're never really the same, so I tend to just chuck them away. But yeah, that is a nozzle, that little red thing. You can see the pattern's a bit better this side. Right, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got out the 155 and our John Deere sprayer. We're coming up to our spring workload if the weather ever decides to change its mind and let the sun come out. But we've got our sprayer and spreader testing tomorrow, so we have a company come in and effectively do an MOT on the sprayers and the spreaders, slug pelleter, knapsack, everything that's got either a spreading disc or a spray lance on it. So one of them obviously is our big trail John Deere 732i sprayer. Now I actually got this out the other day. I just wanted to fold it all out and make sure it was all working right before they come. And we had a bit of a catastrophe. And I don't know if you can see here, there's a pipe there hanging. There's another one here. I had several fittings that had cracked over winter, fatigued, and as I folded them out, they just went bang. So I always come down here on this nice big pad of concrete to fold it out. It's one of the only places in the yard I can actually fold the machine out. I fold it all out. It's just got water in it. We've got a collection tank here under the concrete anyway. Fold it all out, put it going, spray some water on the floor, and just make sure that all the nozzles are working, none of the joints are leaking. But of course, when I did it the other day, there was about 6 joints leaking. So I rang up Masons, and they very kindly got me the parts I needed. So here they are, some elbow fittings, and I got all the clips here as well that hold them in. I'll show you how that works in a minute. I ordered the parts last thing on Friday evening. It's now Tuesday midday, and they come this morning. So fantastic service from Masons. It's showing that we've got about 450 litres in the tank. The clean water tank on the other side is also full, so what we'll do is we'll spray some out, we'll draw some through just to make sure everything's working fine, and we'll replace those parts. But what I'm going to do is fold it out first so that I can work at this level rather than on a ladder up there. It's of course going to try and rain now that we've started. Just can't win. I don't know whether I can fold one half of the sprayer into the shed and do it that way. Give it a go. Right, I've managed to fold out one half of the sprayer into one of our silage pits, and of course as soon as I've done that, it stops raining, but at least I'm under cover. The other reason I wanted to do it with it folded out is because the pipes that have cracked are ones that go around this elbow on the boom. So one end goes on down there, the other end goes on here. I just wanted to make sure that when I put the ends back in, they're all in the right place. If I take it out of the zip ties, you never quite know how it goes back in. So at least if it's in place, we can put it on. So it's gone here, it's gone in the same place on the other side of the boom. We also had trouble with some of these stop ends. I've had trouble with these before. They just blow over winter when it's cold. The sprayer was completely emptied out, everything, air purged through it all. And I also put some antifreeze for all of the nozzles and all the pipe work. But we've still had issues over winter, so that's quite annoying. But these guys seem to survive, so they're all right. Right, I've just been and got myself the tools I need. So I need a flathead screwdriver. I could also use a 7mm spanner for the Jubilee clips because they're a lot easier to use than a screwdriver. But I have got here one of the old ones that I took out. So you can see this one's intact, so the elbow's still there. But this side you can probably see it better. There's a little bit of a crack in it, if I show the camera the right bit. So that one's cracked over winter. Some of them were like that, and some of them have just done that and they're completely blown. Obviously no good. So we've got a pack of new ones. I think I've got this pipe work how I want it. Can't decide whether it's got to go that side of the arm or not. I'm just looking along some of the other bits here to see where the pipe work goes. And it all seems to be the other side, so I might just tuck that through the other side. But anyway, we'll put these on and we'll try them before we do anything. Right, we have the first one done, so you can see that's pretty awkward in there behind that nozzle body to get that all in the right place. But this one's a lot clearer to see, so you can see now when I move this pipe, the fitting rotates. So as this bends in and out this boom, as you fold it up and fold it in or whatever, this obviously flexes. The pipe's got a degree of flex in it, and the fitting's allowed to move, which hopefully prolongs their life. Now that is brand new fittings with those clips in, they are blimmin' tight, they are hard to get in. But we've done it. We've also got a tap on this fitting here, so if you want to, you can turn that tap. That stops any spray or liquid going from this part of the boom to the outside section, so you can turn it off, so you can just make it a 12 meter sprayer, or you can have it as a 24 meter sprayer. But we'll get the other section out and do the same to the other side. Just taken the machine out and turned it round to start doing the other side, but I noticed that when I did, this popped off, and I think, annoyingly, that has broken, that tap. So I don't know whether I can just bypass that tap, seeing as I don't actually use it half the time. But you can see there, it's got stuck. The pipe should have probably gone over the top, or did it? The pipe did go over the top. But anyway, the tap's got stuck as I folded it up, and snap the fitting that goes in the top of the tap. Now, I might have another one of those screw fittings. I can have a look in my toolbox, but I don't know whether it was cracked before. It doesn't look like it was. But yeah, so there's a piece of pipe stuck in there. Top of the tap's broken. The new fitting's down there. I do wonder whether I've got enough pipe to just... I probably have got enough pipe to just go straight to there. I might do that, because I never actually use these taps. I can't quite remember how they were threaded. Of course, I took all the fittings off. That's why you should always take a picture before you do this. Sun's currently back out, which is nice. I've just finished fitting the second one on here. These drip control valves were a bit of an issue. These new fittings, I don't know if I can show you closely. In the middle here, they've got these plastic lugs on the bottom, whereas the old ones that I haven't got to hand, they didn't have those on. If you see, this is an old fitting. It's just smooth in underneath. And those little plastic lugs were just catching on those drip control valves. So hopefully they'll be alright. I had to sand one down so it was smooth, so it would fit on just there. That pipe was fed like that as I put them on, so I think that's how it's supposed to be. Other one down here, the tap is obviously broken, it needs a fitting. And a little bit of extension pipe. I'll keep that just in case I need it. There's a bit of a kink in that pipe there that I'm a bit worried about. But I'm going to fire it all up whilst it's here and just check the nozzles, because they like to block for absolutely no reason. Right, this is the first time this has been run since it went away for the winter, so let's go and see how many disasters we can find. What you can see coming out is the antifreeze. It all goes into a bunded tank under the concrete, so no one needs to worry where that's going. These nozzles all seem to be behaving, but one here that isn't. Please put a new nozzle in there. That one's alright, that one's alright. I wonder if that's just a bit of muck that needs clearing. That nozzle's alright. No, that one's definitely no good, so we need to replace that one. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's no good. We've also got a leak from somewhere. That's to do with the control valve. I don't know, because I can't undo the control valve. That one's fine. That one's fine, that one's fine, that one's fine, that one's fine. You can hear a bit of air coming through them. That one's fine, that one's got a gammy pattern, so we'll replace that one. Another gammy pattern, we'll replace that one. Down this end we all look not too bad. What I do need to do is go around and swap some of them, because I don't know if you can see the water on there. They're all firing forward. They should be firing one forward, one back, so you get maximum coverage. Right, 20 minutes later, some more fittings changed, some nozzles changed. We're looking a lot better. Now, that's the only thing that's worrying me now, is that. Well, I don't know where that water's coming from. I don't know if it's anything to do with the drip control valve. I don't know what it is. The sprayer guy tomorrow, when he comes and looks at it, I'm sure he'll know a bit more than me. I wonder if I change the nozzle, does it? If I blank it off, still doing it no matter what nozzle it's on. So that's to do with the fitting, I think, the actual fitting itself, the main body, but I'll have to get that sorted before we do any spraying. These ones are all behaving, what you love to see. This one here, I haven't put the Jubilee clip back on and it's pretty well stopped leaking. I'm sure with a tight Jubilee clip on there, that'll be absolutely fine. So I need to do that, but that's a new elbow in there. Tighten that up, no water will get through there. Clean that nozzle out, that one's alright, so I'll take that bit of string off, that's how I mark bad ones. There's one there, so I'll put that bit of string on there. See to stop the machine. If I had that tap, I could just turn the tap. But just need to clean that nozzle out by the looks of it. The rest of them are all good. Right, so we are back with the sprayer. It's about 2 weeks since I last had this out in the rain, trying to get it ready for its MOT. Sailed for its MOT absolutely fine, so all the little fixes we've done to it worked perfectly. What I want to do today is I'm going to put it up running again. It's got some water in, put all the nozzles going. I've now got myself some new nozzles because I had a few that were not working very well and I didn't have any spares. So we've got a lot of new nozzles. So what we're going to do is replace any that aren't working brilliantly. And what I'm also going to do, I've realised I've got every nozzle pointing forwards. And after watching Ollie Vlog's video the weekend, he was talking about spray shadowing, where all of them facing the same way, you don't get maximum coverage. So what I'm going to do is change them so that they're facing forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, all the way along the boom. So hopefully that gets rid of any potential spray shadowing that we have going on. So first thing to do is get it up and running, mark any nozzles. This one's on the wrong nozzle body. Mark any nozzles that aren't working and change them, and then change them all so they're forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. And hopefully that'll mean that this machine is then ready to go for when we want to go spraying. Right, so some of the nozzles, when you take them off to replace them, you can see, like if you look down there, see it's all full of yellow gunk. So that's a blocked nozzle rather than a broken nozzle. But what I'll do is I'll replace it because I've got the new ones here in my pocket, and then we'll go about clearing that out afterwards. To be honest, once they get blocked, they're never really the same, so I tend to just chuck them away. But yeah, that is a nozzle, that little red thing. That's the ones I use. So they're are they high pros 1110, which I think is the angle, and then 04, which is a red nozzle. That's a nozzle body, so that is what the nozzle sits in, and that's how you clip them onto the booms. And then obviously we've got a little O-ring black seal as well. Take a bag of new nozzles. We've got ours from Southwest Fixings. They're a cramp dealer, so they get hold of them for us. They can get hold of pretty well anything we want, to be honest. If they haven't got it in stock, they'll get it the next day. So I'll take my new nozzle. Nozzle just falls down into the cup. It will lock in a certain way, so it only fits in a certain way. So you need to make sure you get it to lock in, put the seal on top. Yeah, that one's now done, so I'll remove, actually I'll leave the string on just to know I've done it. But if I run you through what I do here, so these, normally wear my gloves just to be a little bit safe, but you twist them round to they're 90 degrees to how they are, and then they just slide off. And then that's the inside of a nozzle. It's got your seal for the nozzle. To get them off, I just simply do that. Turn them upside down, drop everything out. So you've got the body, nozzle and the seal. Again, I can't see that that one's blocked, but that's an old one, so we'll put that back there. Is that the right way? You've got to put them on so they click like so. No, I've got that the wrong way. Good for me. Click it on, turn it, and that is that changed. So we've got 4 nozzles here, so if you wanted to use different nozzles for any other reason, for different applications, different pressures, whatever, you can just rotate them. So that's another red nozzle, got a purple one there and a brown one there. But I like these high pro low drift, I think they're called Guardian Air nozzles. Really, really like them. I use them for everything. So that's those 2 done. Right guys, you now join me well over a month later, and we're actually out spraying. So today I've been putting on the first application of spray, so some fungicide, some manganese, and a bit of herbicide across our barley and also our wheat, which I'm spraying now. It's a bit of a busy day, trying to get all the spraying done whilst the weather's good. I've got a very sore head because I've just come back off my stag do yesterday afternoon. And yeah, I could have done with doing something a little less involved today, but there we are. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen some of the highlights from the stag do. I don't really drink alcohol very much. I normally have a pint of cider when I play darts on a Thursday, and I might have a pint after football on a Saturday. But other than that, I don't really drink. So yeah, it was a bit of an experience this weekend just gone, but there we are. It was great fun, great bunch of lads. I got with my mates. We had an awesome weekend away. Now it's only 2.5 weeks until I actually get married. Right, I've just finished this first field of wheat. I've done 2 fields of barley this morning. I'm actually getting some prices for a new sprayer. Our sprayer is massive, as you can see. For the amount of work we do, been thinking about downsizing it and possibly getting a mounted one. Probably hear there's a little bit of wind about today. So we've asked a couple companies for some prices. They want some photos so they can give a bit of a figure for us to trade this one back. So we'll just get out and take a few photos whilst he's unfolded. So like I was saying, we don't do too much actual spraying, but the spraying that we do is quite important, and especially for the plot trials, having our own sprayer is something that we need, and it needs to be quite a sophisticated one. So we need to be able to have the ability to have very accurate section control, ideally like individual nozzle shut off. This one's got 6 sections, 6 4-meter sections on it. Just fold this up a minute. We've just put some trial plots in that will want spraying at some point. They're only 12 meters wide, and probably only 40 meters long, so we don't need this spray is far too big for that sort of job. You just want to be able to drive up the side of it with half of it open and spray it. But it's one of those things, they're an awful lot of money, these sprayers, and for the little bits and pieces we need to do here for some of the research work, like the plots, the contractor's not going to bother. They won't want to know because it's so little. So we really need to have our own. Of course, we've got the crops as well, so it's handy to have it for doing our own spraying now. But yeah, they're a lot of money. So we'll see what we come back with. We've got a price to swap it for a Foevvercam. They do a mounted sprayer. We're going to get a price for an Amazon. That's what I was taking the pictures for. I don't know whether you guys can suggest anything in the comments. So we want to stay at 24 meters, ideally mounted, somewhere around the 1500 to 1800 litre tank size. Isobus, ideally individual nozzle control, individual nozzle section control. I know that's a very, very specialist product, if you like, but it is what it is. Right, I've just put a bit of wash water in because I ran out with about 100 yards to go, so that'll flush through the lines. I very, very nearly got myself completely stuck just now. I got the tractor completely bogged down to the point where the front weight was scraping the floor, all the underside of the tractor was scraping the floor, the link arms were digging in. I managed to back myself out of it, but it's a corner of this field, which is quite appropriately named Poor Field, I thought was going to absolutely ruin me then for a minute. Yep, we got properly stuck, nearly. See the weight block, that was all underground. Some of the link arms all under there. Oh, goodness me, Josh. I did a proper good job of that one. Right, I'm not putting that back in the shed like that, so that's going to be washed off. So we're going to do that now. Shouldn't take too long. There's not an awful lot of nooks and crannies on that for stuff to hide in. Well, it's not as clean as you normally see me wash stuff, but it'll have to do for now. So I've got somewhere to be. Craig's just feeding some cows in the with a straw chopper. We took the wagon off of Big Boots so John can ferry cattle around, and we hadn't got to put in the wagon back on, and we're only feeding straight silage, which the straw chopper can handle, so we've been doing it like that the past few days. Just clearing up my empties, and then I'm done for the day. I've got a whole load of fertiliser bags here I need to roll up and high up, but I'll get to that at some point. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Normal content will be resumed. I've had me stag doing a little bit of a break. There might be a bit of a break coming up when we have our wedding, because obviously we'll be focusing on that and not editing videos. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll see you on another video very soon. Cheerio.